And we are live with Bead Maker and Coffee post Mobile Tech Expo show. So welcome everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Are we bright and shiny today after a day of travel?
Oh, trying to be. So crazy. We always do this to ourselves, but it is fun. Um, so I got home at 4 p.m. yesterday, which then when you do the math, that was 6 o'clock Florida time, which means I got up at 3 a.m. Boise time. It's a whole deal. All I know is I didn't have a lot of sleep. And so this morning, I think I've mentioned this, that Boise's had no snow this year, right? So weird. And I was concerned by that fact because I was like, wow, it's almost February. And that's crazy. And then we woke up to several inches of snow this morning. Hence the hat and the no coffee.
And no coffee for Sydney today?
Right. So I have Florida hot cocoa is what I have. So we're going to see how this goes. We've never tried this before without coffee.
Jamie, it's good you're on, brother. We need your energy today because
I'm excited, baby. I'm really holding the reins of the horseback. I'm trying to go with the flow where y'all are because I don't want to drag you, but I've been popping for 3 hours already, so I am rolling.
Right? It's 9:30 where you are.
Yeah, so I'm getting it. We've already just sent everybody to work at 7 o'clock. Like we sent 22 people to work. Everybody's been here for an hour and a half. We've already accomplished probably 10 cars by now, maybe 15. So we're done rolling.
Okay, well, perfect.
I told you I was trying not to drag you. I was just going to be, I was going to be with everybody, but I'm ready to go.
No, we need some dragon today, baby. Because
we're gonna need some dragon.
Like at 5:30 Portland time, so that was 6:30 Sydney time and 8:30 Orlando time. Not bad for getting on a plane.
Which means you got up at 2:30 Portland time a.m.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if the incoherent words come out of both of our mouths, folks, that's why we brought Jamie to make it clear or provide clarity. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but here we go. Well, we're home from Mobile Tech. It was a momentous Mobile Tech. We had a ton going on. We started with education days and parties and receptions. I won't call it a party. We didn't hang from chandeliers or anything. And then we had a great show day, and then we put Bob and Dave in the Hall of Fame, and we closed out a show, got on a plane, and here we are. So what else could we have done in the last 2 weeks?
Oh my goodness. Well, it was such a great show. Gosh, what is this? My 4th or 5th Mobile Tech? I think it's probably my 5th. I don't know. Anyway, it's gotten better every year. I mean, I really thought it was such a great show my very first year, but I mean, it's literally gotten better every year. So this, worth noting that this year, detailers actually surpassed the number of detailers and vendors surpassed the PDR side, which that's always been very heavily weighed in the PDR side. So we passed the PDR side. So that was cool. I know from one of my big takeaways from MTE that I thought was so cool is we had a lot of new detailers attend. And I thought that was really, really cool. There was, several that we met, that this was their first time going to MTE. And I just thought that was so cool. So that's really what stood out to me. And we got to meet a lot of people from the Bead Maker Lounge. We had lots of people stop by, and I just thought that was my big takeaway. I thought that was so cool. That just, is a testament to what we do here online all year, right? That they'll, make it out to see us and, see the show and gain so much knowledge and networking from it. I really love MTE. I love MTE week. It's always so great. And then I'm sure I won't want to take away anything from Jamie as far as staying at the PNS house, because that's a whole different segment, right? So I always love that. So we always get a big Airbnb. Bob gets us a fun little Disney family Airbnb, and we all stay together, and it was great. And then, of course, obviously the highlight was Bob and Dave being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The whole team I was there with them and got to watch that, and that was really cool. Really cool.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I just had an
MPE.
absolutely great time. Absolutely great time.
Same. It's so good to be back with your family, but it's
Mm-hmm.
such more of a smaller, intimate setting with everyone instead of it just being like birdshot everywhere. It's a little more like a single revolver, right? You can get close to everyone and be close with everyone. So it's like, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So great.
Yep.
Agreed.
So great. Keith, what was your big takeaway?
I just think the volume of both new people, and we always talk about this, right? And there's a lot of noise in our industry about the negative and old people been around and old feuds and all this craziness. But if you look at that show, there were more new vendors than I've seen in years in the detail space. And there were more new people there. And I think we forget, Sid, we got this opportunity last weekend at Connors, and we haven't even brought that up. But somebody said to me, well, how was that event? I go, there were so many new people in that room with us, just in Boise, right? And he's emblematic of that there's so much energy and new folks in our industry that's so cool, right? I mean, and they are positive, and they don't know all the history of the industry, which is good and bad, right? I mean, there were 6 of us walking around that show that were in a photo of the 8 original detailers that showed up to that show. But now there are 994 more people that were there that we'd never seen prior to that day. And so I think that's the cool thing, right? There's all the new folks. Franco piece is on, and he's going to be my first message up. But I mean, I'd never, Frank is new to us, and the energy that he brings and all those folks is just so cool because the industry continues to evolve. It continues to change. It gets better. There's still new stuff, right? Jamie, we've been around in this thing, 25 plus years more. There's always something new to pick up. And that was the same with the education. There's always something new to pick up while you're
there. Yeah. It's like they put new Skittles in the bag. So many new people, a lot of new company names. So you're like, and so you're trying to figure out, who's who and what's what, and where they're coming from and what's their angle and how can we take 1 or 2 things away from them and the same with them from us. So it's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Like everybody has a different concept because they come from a different era, right? So knowing their take of where they come from, that's huge. Okay. Very huge.
Yep. Yeah, it was just great. It was a really great show. I also want to give a shout out to the IDA and the whole crew that did the awards banquet. That the whole thing was great. It was really special. There was a lot of really good award winners this year. I mean, all very well deserving. All the nominees absolutely deserve to be nominated.
Yeah.
But the other shout out that we could not give would be how lucky are we to have Josh Pierce? Right? I mean, gosh, this guy, we could make a whole show just talking about how we feel about Josh Pierce. So Josh Pierce, as you all know, he's literally the captain of the Beadmaker Lounge. And he won Outstanding Service Award for the 2nd year in a row, which doesn't normally happen. But he's just that great, right? There was no one else more deserving than him. And, he's so humble, and that was great. That was another great moment for me, was to watch him. We can't repeat what he said when he won, but
yeah. Good thing he wasn't,
it's a good thing he didn't know that we had known for a little while. Otherwise, he probably would have taken a whack at us. So
right.
Yeah, sure,
but God, he's so great. And, we do obviously, like on the plane in our delirium, we have time to reflect. And that was one of the things, as I thought, Josh is a fantastic human being, no matter where he is or what he's doing. And I just thought, like, we are so fortunate at PNS to have him on our team and to be friends with him, have him in our lives. I mean, so I want to give a shout out to Josh Pierce, because man, what a guy.
Wherever he is, because for those who don't know, he got stuck in plane hell, if you will. He was supposed to fly out last night from Orlando. He's going to be our last guy out the door. I think he's stuck in Atlanta because he had a broken plane to start the day. And So we hope and we wish well for Josh. If you're listening, that's awesome. If you're not, get on your plane, get home safely. There is snow in Iowa. So I'm going to throw up some good mornings as we go along here.
Yes, let's do.
We got to see Frank. That was awesome. I would love that. I'd love to have him in the booth.
Yep, always enjoy seeing Frank.
Yep. And then Kirby was there.
Kirby,
I think that's the other thing is when we sat in that room on Friday night, how many people were from out of the country? And, which was so awesome. And hey, one of the other things I thought that was cool about the awards night was we had one category where nobody was from the U.S. It was all international nominees, and they were all newcomers. So I thought that was cool too. Is to see that. Morning, Jeff. Yes, it was great to see everybody at MTE. And here's one that we got to finally connect with. It seems like
Bradley Bradshaw.
Our stumbling points with Bradley Bradshaw, but we've now finally got him in a shirt and he's good to go. And
so he's coating a fire truck, if no one can see that little emoji. So today he had to jump straight into washing and polishing and coating a fire truck.
Go
just
big, Brad.
Little projects, right?
Yeah.
It's the little things, right? The little things, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So Jamie, what was your favorite part of the PNS house this year?
It's how it's really. I'm gonna say something about myself. It's how I'm catered to. Like I think that you guys went above and beyond to have a mural painted in my room before I got there.
We did.
That was expensive. It was expensive, but it was so fitting. It was so fitting. I don't know. Would they be able to see if I could show? Would it pick up?
I think so.
Maybe.
If you held it up right to your camera, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Everybody's going to be so excited, right?
We did forget to take the picture of you next to the wall, didn't we?
No, I did that too. I was a fanboy. Fanboy, thank you. So fanboy. Okay, so we're ready. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Awesome.
Oh, and there's there's one more. This is the ceiling in my room. You ready?
That's so great.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's my light.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
So big shout out to the PNS team for catering to me, right? So I'm like, I know I'm special, but now I know I'm special. Okay.
Right. We wanted you to feel right at home.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, what you mean? I did so much. It was so great.
Yeah.
So
great.
Gosh.
Good morning, Travis.
And something else too about the house, right? So here's a question. Do you have a nightly routine of like you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go to bed at this time? What's that, Keith? What time do you go to bed where you are?
You live in a hotel.
No, you're probably the wrong one to ask. You travel too much. What about you, Sydney?
Are we talking about on a trip or at home?
Home.
Well, it involves animals and I don't know. I still kind of do the same thing, but definitely it's different than my nightly routine in a PNS house for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was getting at, right? Like,
yeah.
So when at my house, 9:30 or so, I asked my wife for the last time before I sit down, do you need anything else? And then just so happens I'm in one room and it's like being in my room at the PNS house and she's in the kitchen downstairs. I sit down, there's a light goes off in her room and a buzzer when my butt hits the couch and she's hollering, I need you to do one more thing. Why are you sitting down? Right. So I'm like, oh, yes, dear. So I get up and do the one thing you have to do in the dark when it's cold and you're already in your shorts and pajamas, right? But then 10:15, you're ready to kind of land the plane, right? And just go to sleep. Well, we were looking at the clock and like, why are we so tired? Like what? And it's 12:05, 12:35. And we're like, oh, good night. Like you lose yourself in time because you're having such a great time that it's like, oh, I got to go to bed, but I don't really want to go to bed because we're all just, and it's funny, right? Like you have those friends in life that they're your acquaintances. You see them, you wave, you're good. But then you have those friends that are your friends and you don't see them for 6 months or a year, but it's like you saw them last week. And then you're just like, you're like, 2 14-year-old girls just talking in the room and giggling when you get into the car. We know who we're pointing at here. And we just, I don't know, we're just running everywhere. And you're just like, God, time stand still or slow down because we're just having so much fun, right? Just so much fun. Oh, it's great. It's truly great.
I'm gonna reenact part of what you just said.
I mean, we have a nightly routine at the P&S house. I mean, it's everybody pile back into the house, go get your jammies on, get out the chocolate milk and the Oreos or cookies.
Yes, I agree. I was just meaning time. Like,
time
is just of no essence when we get back. It's just like, we know what we do. We scurry up. We kind of get ready. And we get ready for bed, so to speak. Everybody's in their jammies or whatever. And then you come down, and I don't know what Alan's doing. Like, he's doing some kind of Richard Simmons workout on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, sweating to the freaking oldie. I don't think they have a new guy. They need to get something from Tony Horton, right? Because he's still back here with Richard Simmons, all these little leg exercises and squinting his toes and stuff in the floor, and we're all sitting over there going, "Let's get a glass of milk and Oreo," and he's over here working out at 11 o'clock at night, So it's like,
oh my gosh,
but it's just we all want to hurry and get downstairs, so we're like, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then we're just,
I know.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
That's so true. I have to reenact part of this. So usually we're up talking, right? And all of a sudden somebody goes, "What time do we have to leave? What's our go time tomorrow?" Because we have this hard go time on Team P&S. It's like, this is when we go, and you're on the bus or you're off. And so, what's the go time tomorrow? Oh, it's 8 o'clock, and we go, "Oh, that's in 5 hours." Like, usually somebody looks at their phone and goes, "Oh, that's in 5 hours," and then we're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to bed."
Then we're all
it's like little mice just scurry when the light comes on.
Gotta go. And it's almost like we've practiced. Like, everybody does it like it's like it's in sync, synchronized swimming, right? It's just like, and everybody's out.
Oh gosh!
My favorite line of the week, though, is Bob walks in the Airbnb, looks in the sink, and goes, "Wow, that's a lot of chocolate milk glasses."
Yes.
Well, we like our chocolate really milk, right?
Oh, yeah. Dang. You know what? I meant to wash those. Now that we say that, I had that on my mind to do it, and I didn't do it.
There's a dishwasher. We're okay.
We had a dishwasher
this morning. So the other thing that I got to say I really love about the trip is we always add one or two new kind of folks to the torture that is the House of P&S. We're never quite sure how they're going to react to it because look, we can be a lot, right? We can be a lot. So this year,
a few of us.
Yeah, few of us, right? I mean, not everybody needs to be a Scotsman doing yoga at 11 p.m. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. You're like.
So we added Eric Rutledge this year, and he sent me a message this morning. Said, "Happy Monday. Appreciate the great time and including me on the MTE experience. Until next time, make it a great week." So Eric was kind of our new guy this year, and it can be intimidating for him. So, but he was great to have with us, and it's always
he rolled right in. He did good.
He did good.
Yeah,
he did great.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
So great.
Look at this.
Good morning, Angela.
Josh
Pierce, of course he's coming in from 30,000 feet because he would be the one that would figure out how to do that on the Wi-Fi where none of the rest of us can figure it out.
Right. None of us can get anything to stream on an airplane, but Josh is all over.
Of course. He probably has like a go-go gadget Wi-Fi router in his bag that he made himself.
It may be built into the Baby Joes. I don't know.
Man, we ran out of those Baby Fat Joes. Did you guys see all those? Oh, they were adorable.
I did.
So adorable. I didn't get one.
That debuted at the show, right? Is now we got a Baby Joe. What the heck, man?
Yeah. Baby Fat Joe. That happens.
We just keep multiplying. Vendors, raccoons, detailing shops. Like we're doing it. We're doing it in every asset, every facet, right?
Yeah.
And throwing that Josh just came in, like truly, like a lot of people's not going to know Josh unless you know Josh. But winning back-to-back shows who Josh really is. He's not about doing it for the show. He's about doing it to become better himself, but more than that, bettering all of us in our industry. And you don't even see the work he's doing in the background to keep the lights on and the music playing and the synchronized swimming. Like, he does it all, man. Like, he does it all.
And I think Sid and I sometimes miss that nobody else sees what he does, because we are in tune with Josh, right? We get a lot of Josh time. We're selfish about that. We love our Josh time. So it's funny because there actually is a rule at the IDA that you cannot win that award twice. That was always put in place. I mean, Bob Phillips and I both have been honored with that award, and it was always a thing of give it to somebody and then don't give it to them again. They've done they've been recognized. Let's find the next person. And the board, I think, was forced into a corner because there just was nobody who could keep pace with our good friend Josh. So that was pretty awesome,
that's nice.
A rule for a good reason for a great guy. So I thought that was cool.
Well, he made the exception, right? Like you couldn't discount anything that he had done to not be seen. Yep. Like he was doing it all, and you're like, got to mark that box, got to mark that. He marked every box. Like,
he made a whole.
What do we do here?
Yeah, that's Josh, man. He was so exceptional. You had to make the exception. So it's just awesome. Good morning, Sarah. Yeah. Awesome to have her on today. And look who else is chiming in from airports unknown, Mr. Phillips.
Bob Phillips. Good morning, Bob.
Wave as you fly over,
Canada. Bob. Hopefully they let him in. I heard there was a little situation with Canada yesterday. Hopefully they let you in.
Yeah, they're going to stop buying American goods. I hope we've worked out something on the free trade agreement there.
Yeah. Listen, we know a guy. Don't worry about it. We know a guy. That's all we need to say. Okay. Yeah, we got it.
Good morning, Matt.
No.
All right. Cool. Travis Aldridge said, we had a warm weekend in Missouri and I got to use some of my PNS products. Use Swift by Interior and Express on the plastics. Also finally got to use Reflect on the glass and the infotainment screen. Dude, we love Reflect. We got to kind of show off Reflect at MTE. So that was
cool. We gave
cool.
some away too. Yeah.
We gave some away. Yeah. We did. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
We gave away like 25 bottles of Rehab too.
Yeah. Yeah. Todd, can you compare the contrast Dreammaker, Beadmaker, Paint Gloss, and Defender, please? Yes, I'm going to break this down really fast. Dreammaker only has one job, literally one job, just to make it shiny. So it doesn't have any lubricants. It doesn't have any fillers. It has nothing except gloss enhancers.
No protection.
Dreammaker, one job. Beadmaker is a sealant, a paint sealant. It can be used as a drying aid. It can be used as a clay lubricant. It's going to leave behind, a couple months of good protection. It's going to give that kind of deep, warm glow that we used to love from Carnauba wax. Paint gloss has a lot of lubricants in it, so it's great as a clay lube. It's great as a quick detailer, as a waterless wash. It's a great vacuum aid. It's kind of the Swiss Army knife. It does a lot of different things, but it does not leave behind much protection at all. And then Defender is,
in it, and it also has anti-static, which if you have dusting problems, there's your product.
Yeah. And then Defender is a true SiO2 sealant. So this is going to be your longer term protection. It's going to have really nice slickness and water behavior.
I was making my notes over here too. Okay.
We're taping the show so you can rewind and watch that again if you need to.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Good morning, Scott. We got to see Scott briefly. He
came down. It was awesome to have him in the booth.
Yeah. Rod. Good morning. 3 of my favorite people. Same, Rod.
Well,
it's always great to see Rod and Jody.
I have to say their jackets were 3-ring circusy this year. So
yeah.
I could totally rock one of those. I hope y'all know that. Like I would really wear that.
You would be the Ringmaster. Isn't that a character in the Marvel universe?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there, yes, there is one.
Matthew Gibb, MTE looked good from across the pond. Kudos to Mark Flago for representing us here in Australia so well with his 3rd place at the PCC competition. Liquid Elements new polishers look great. Known Sebastian for decades. Yes, I missed that entire competition, but I did definitely catch up on it yesterday on social media, kind of checked it out. Kind of bummed that I didn't get to go back there and watch, but it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that conversation has happened for, years at Mobile Tech. We should have a competition. And I don't think the industry was ready for us to have a throwdown fight on skills testing that was subjective. But I will say, with this year, there was a really cool tool they used, which was a gloss meter. And I think, we actually had a tool we could measure it instead of it being subjective. So it kind of worked this year. And I thought that was really cool that they were able to pull that off.
And you know who, speaking of this competition, because I saw one of the contestants that I missed, but Jamie, did you get to see Aaron Noxie? Because somehow I never got to see him, and then I saw him in videos, and I was like, how did I miss him?
I was speaking with a gentleman that I know, Nick, and somebody came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and we talked for like 5 minutes. But that was like right at the end of the show at 4:45 on Saturday.
Oh gosh.
Oh man,
yeah,
I've never seen him until then.
I know. I was so bummed I missed him. Aaron was for those that don't know, Aaron was a cast mate on Dirty Old Cars with Jamie. So I was like, how did I miss him? But I saw him throwing down on those panels in the competition. SP3, good morning from Orange County, California. I hope everything's going okay in Orange County. They've had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Cole, good morning.
Just bouncing through here. Steve Pearson, we got to see at the show. It was awesome.
Yep, that was awesome. Yeah. Very, very cool. One of the new first timers that we got to meet, and man, what an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Lots of information. Christopher Todd Robertson, great seeing you all. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it was great to have him there. And actually, DSI had 2 team members there this year, which was great. Mike was there as well. So it's always, that's so funny. We never know who will show up, right? And we got to see a lot of our, and I think this is part to Josh, a lot of our Midwest distributors showed up. I mean, we had a number of them there. So
yeah,
I think
we did.
Fanboying on Josh is what I'm going to call it. So that's what we're going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, how do we say this? Good morning from Montenegro.
Montenegro, yeah.
Montenegro, yeah.
That's right next to Serbia. That's
afternoon
way
there, yeah.
over in Eastern Europe, on the edge of Asia. Yeah.
All right, Christopher Talbot. Yes, Josh is absolutely a class act. Yep.
Oh, 1,000%.
For sure. Good morning, Ron. John Neopolis, good morning.
Good morning.
From Clean and Shiny, that's nice. Or after, yes, it's afternoon there.
For
you guys probably have sunshine and no snow. All right, good morning, everyone.
Yeah, from Canada. There we go. I mean, Canada.
CS Auto Tech and Detailing says, good morning.
Hey, look who's with us. Gabriel.
A little bit late, but good morning, Jamie, Keith, and Queenie.
Good morning.
Steve, this is good. All of the surfaces in my hotel had glass tops. I cleaned them all with Reflect, and I really enjoyed using it. What are your other favorite ways to use Reflect? Jamie, have you gotten to use Reflect yet?
I have, and look, I'm not the mirror guy, right?
You got to use it in Monterey, didn't you? I forgot about that.
I did. And for me, it enhances the curls in my hair in the bathroom at the house. So when you spray it on the mirror, it really, I know you like that. Sid, we talked about the curls. We talked about the curls, girl.
I know we did.
We talked about the Florida air. And look, it just didn't do me any good. The curls were, amazing while we were there, but now it's just bad. But the Reflect just seems to give it that little bit of, like, there's no streak here. And there's, like, did you polish the glass? Like, it lays, I truly believe it just lays on top of the glass very finely. And it's just like, those are clean. Like, it's really like, you can't tell if a glass is clean or dirty till you get it in the right light. But when a customer walks up on it and you use that after you've already used the glass cleaner, they really see the windows like they're there. Yeah. I know that sounds dumb, but they're like, oh, that's like clean, right?
Yeah.
It's really a cool product. And I'll be honest, everybody has their first opinion, right? And you guys shipped me some and I got to do it. And I was like, what's that for? Because you never used it. You had no idea. But then you get to using it and you're like, this is for my people that really like to be particular. So I can be just 10 more minutes particular, right? That's on big cars too. And it's like, I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Nice.
It's really, really good. And we're getting really good feedback from it. Like it was one of those products that I would say when we came out with it, we all knew we loved it because I like, fancy frilly things. Like I kind of like that. But everyone is really, really loving it because like you said, I think we noticed the difference. And so to answer the question, Steve, one of my favorite things is I use it all over the place in my house. So windows, mirror glass, on all of my stainless steel. But then in the cars, I definitely do the outside, but absolutely I do the inside too. And one of the big areas is the sunroof. You know how it always gets like hazy, it always
Yes.
looks dirty. So I love to do the sunroof and then the front windshield. It definitely keeps that fogging down. So pretty much anything that's glass, I'm putting that on just because I love it so much. It leaves it so slick, anti-fog. If on the exterior of the car, the water behavior is just incredible. So, I mean, I use a lot of Reflect, but what I love is that everyone loves it as much as I did, because I love those things that are kind of extra, like, extra go big. And so I love that everyone's loving it as much as me. It's such a great product.
So
All right.
can I ask a question? So
Yeah.
I've used it and been using it, but I don't have a tenure with it, right?
Right.
So my question is, when it comes back, that said car,
Yeah.
do you notice a difference in cleaning the inside windows?
100%. 100%. Yes. I have a couple customers. I have one in particular that is a wallpaper installer.
Yeah.
Been doing her cars for years. And because of the chemicals that she drives around with, all the glue and stuff, and maybe sometimes her lids aren't on tight. I mean, her car always has wallpaper and wallpaper supplies in it, so it kind of always has that off gassing of the glue always inside her Subaru. We've never been able to get it to stop fogging up. And yeah, if I treat all the inside windows with that, we aren't having an issue anymore. So absolutely. Then I have another customer who has many dogs that leave many particles all over the glass with their nose, and just them coming back in and cleaning those dog nose prints again is so much easier. I mean, they just wipe right off. You're not sitting there, using a razor blade to get that stuff off. And so, yeah, definitely. It's really, really awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Mike Carlin, hello Team PNS. It was great to see you. Yes, always good to see Mike and his whole team and all those guys. Man, awesome.
Yeah,
awesome,
I mean,
awesome.
Who's more on fire than those guys these days? Holy cow!
Yeah,
great to see them out doing what they do.
Yep. All right, Anna, good morning. I did hear that it's icy and snowy in Seattle. It's literally snow. You guys can't see it, but it's literally dumping snow right now.
Yeah. Well, it's actually supposed to snow in Portland today too. So I think we're in the winter now. It's just showed up a little late. It was tardy for some reason.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, Dimitri.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. What trends did you notice at this year's MTE? Where's the industry going? And of course, without revealing your own secrets. Thanks for reminding us to not do that. Jamie, what trends did you see?
What
trends?
Yeah. What trends did you notice from MTE? What trends did you notice? Where do you think the industry's going?
I really think it's coming back together. Meaning, since the real dirty C word that we won't say, where everybody got sick, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody was kind of confined to themselves. And I'd like to make a note there. You actually can see that people went into their houses, stayed alone with themselves, and they came out in the real world and they can't get along with themselves. That's why they're so grumpy. That's a personal analysis. Okay. So then now they're coming back out into the world and they're realizing, hey, it's more than just me out here. So I have to kind of be a little more graceful and a little more kind, so I can see a lot more inclusion from everyone. Meaning that I think the trend's coming back to where people like people and people are getting along with people and people are going to get along with people. How's that?
Yeah.
I really saw that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, we just had Mike Carlin comment, and I think that was going to be my comment, was I noticed a trend of just so many collaborations, right, between brands. And so, you see many people kind of having their hands in many different brands, and it's really become this great kind of extended family. And so that was kind of what I noticed, and just a lot of collaboration, which is so great, right? It just means that everyone's working together. So that was kind of what I noticed. I felt like Two, the industry has always been worried about education, but I really think that was another thing that I kind of noticed was just, really focusing on education and doing, doing things right and just having the knowledge and having the power to be successful in business. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, we won't reveal any of our secrets, but I do think, I think it's just going, I think it's going to great places. I really do. So yeah, awesome.
I do, and I think that I really think so. There was an era like a year after the dirty C word, right? Where everybody had the attitude of, if you can't buy from me or if you can't help me directly, I don't really have time to talk to you, right?
Right.
And it was almost attitude-ish. I didn't see that this year. It was like, hey, how you been? Let's shake hands. And, and I don't, just because I don't need you directly, don't mean I don't like you. It just means we're not as close as everybody else. That's what I like in the industry. Man, I like to know everybody and talk to everybody. And if you can just gain one little sugar baby nugget from someone, or if you can just help someone else with just one little sugar baby nugget, how much sweeter is both your lives going to be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, how much better would they be if it's just like, those guys are great guys. That lady is a great lady. That's it. It doesn't matter the whats or the ifs or the whys. It's just, they are amazing. They're just amazing in their own right. And that's it. That's what makes it great. And that's, I saw a lot of that. To be truthful, I saw a lot of that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if our moderator's having issues down there, but keeps popping in and popping out. All right, looks like he's here because we got a new question. Mike says, got to use the new Reflect. Noticed instant slickness and some hydrophobic properties. Will this improve with increased use? And if so, what can be expected? So absolutely. So yes, as instant slickness, the hydrophobic properties, I wouldn't really gauge them until it's been an hour or two, because obviously there's a curing element, since there is SiO2 in there. And yes, it would improve with increased use. But I don't put Reflect on my own vehicle windows maybe but once a month. I do think it has longer longevity than that, but I love using it. So I put it back on. But my windows are pretty darn slick and pretty hydrophobic. So yeah, it's great. Good morning, Carson. Keith is he's trying to buzz in here. He's having some issues. Gary Reese, Josh is an absolutely amazing person. He absolutely is. Such a great person. Paul, good morning. It was always great to see everyone at MTE. Yes. I love that. I love seeing everybody. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, agreed.
I love seeing all our old friends. So great. Ron, I know you sang the Aretha Franklin song to the, I think that probably came while we were talking about something, so I'm not sure what he means by that. What's the Aretha Franklin song? Alex Dewar checking in from Canada. Happy Monday, PNS family. Hope you're all doing well and resting post MTE. Well, we had Bead Maker and coffee this morning, so we'll get to that. Jamie was right at it. 7 a.m. He had his guys at work. Good morning, rolling. Alex from rolling. Ron. Too good. SP3, I was able to get stout on my F-150 2 weeks ago, and this weekend I put some Defender on it. Have some rain coming here, so I'll be excited to see how it beads up. Oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So amazing. Angela, this was probably my favorite MTE. Definitely glad I saw everyone. Side note, I've been using Rehab, and I love it. Like I said, this weekend, it's great on painted boats, but it's great as a second final step on gel coat. And second side note, go birds. I'm glad you brought that up, Angela. I was telling my family last night when I got home, they were like, they kind of asked me like, what's your biggest takeaway? And I was like, well, my biggest takeaway is the entire United States is voting for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Because, being in like public places, you're walking to the restroom, you hear people's conversation. And then on the plane, right, in the airports and planes, you hear all these random people's conversations. And everyone was like, well, I guess I'm voting for the Eagles because I don't want the Chiefs to win.
Don't
I mean,
want
I
the
heard
Chiefs
that
to
from
win.
so many people. That was my other like personal big takeaway was the entire United States is voting for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right.
Me too.
Yes. Yes.
Me too.
Well,
Yeah,
and
just
I'm
really.
torn on this because I do like the Chiefs, but I love the Eagles, and so I want the Eagles to
Yeah,
win.
they're
Okay,
class.
404
I
not
think they're class
found.
act, right?
Yeah, they are. 404 not found. On properly prepped surface, how long could you expect to get out of an application of Defender? 6 to 12 months is what we always say. So absolutely. If I'm putting Defender as my only level of protection, so say you totally prep the surface and you just want to lay down Defender, I would do 2 coats of it, 40 minutes apart. Probably not more than that because there does come a point where it will reject itself. But yeah, easily 6 to 12 months. Josh Petro, little Peaches in here, says, good morning to some of my favorite people. We know that Jamie likes Peaches, right? Team Peaches, Team Marble.
Team Marble, yes, for sure.
Josh Petro gives some good hugs. Back to Bob Phillips. The competition was so cool. We need to be represented next year. Maybe the OGHOF guy should do it. Yes, you should, Bob.
4 of us in the Hall of Fame now. We can figure somebody out. We'll send Bob or Dave over.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
I'm having video issues, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm just a blank screen today. There you go.
Well, at least you're still here. We can hear you.
I can hide my face.
You look amazing, Keith.
Now.
Keith, I told you about using the reflect on the bathroom mirror. I don't think you used reflect right there. I don't know what you put on there, but you didn't use reflect.
Motor oil. I use motor oil.
Yeah. It's not there. It's not there.
Not doing it.
Okay. This is going to be a good question. So Todd Hill says, if I'm on a budget right now for only one polisher, one each pad for compound, polish and jeweling, and also a compound polish and jeweling product, what would they be, please? So Jamie, I want to hear your answer on the polisher part. If someone was on a budget and they could only get one polisher, what polisher should they get?
So that's, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like there's a big variation between a budget for a polisher. I mean, you're $80 to $600, right? So I would think you would have to do a max shine polisher because you're gonna kind of get in the middle. So I think you're gonna get some work and some use, but you're not gonna get the grind, and you're definitely not gonna get the longevity. And that's not ugly. That's just kind of truth, right? So if you're only doing in your garage and doing a car a day or a car every couple of days with the polisher, I think a max shine is going to be kind of your best bet for a budget. So that's kind of the avenue I would take. But now, if I had to, because I mean, let's face it, Flex Rupes is for your magnification, your beautification, but also your longevity in a polisher of just how they're handcrafted, how they're made to stand up to beating, abusing. Maybe you drop it, and just putting in the work like a diesel truck. Okay, so you're not, or if you're gonna buy a what are those things called? What kind of truck is a Honda? I forget.
Ridgeline.
Yeah. So are you going to pull a boat with a Ridgeline, or are you going to pull a boat with a F350 diesel? Right.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in a polisher. But I think your best bet would be a max shine. Just truthfully, I think that would work good.
Yeah. And then onto the polish, compound, all of that. I'm just going to say, if you can only buy one product, Rehab is exactly why this was created. Because of the flexibility. That's why we call it a correction cream, because it's going to cover all the way from heavy cutting to jeweling, just depending on what pad you would put with it. So that one's easy for us, just because we know we love Rehab, and Rehab has absolutely stood up to that test and proved that it can do all of those things. So for sure, Rehab. And obviously when you're on a budget, we now have the 8-ounce bottles of Rehab that are a great try me size. Keith, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're around $23.
Yep.
So super affordable to get in and try that product and see if it's working for your needs. So for sure. And then if you had to choose one pad to start with, I'm going to say the Free Ride Orange. That one is going to cover, it's not going to get you too much cut that you need a secondary pad. It's going to do a really good level of cut and a really good finish in one pad and make sure that you don't cause yourself needing to do a second step. So I'm going to say Free Ride Orange if you can only choose one pad.
And buy 6 of them, not one.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is if I were picking a style of tool, let's get away from maybe a brand just because we don't know. Maybe his entry level budget, Jamie, is $400. At which point he could get the Rupes 15 ES, which is the original 15 throw. I would say most guys should start with a 5-inch backer pad tool, 15 millimeter throw, probably a large throw DA, whether that's the Max Shine. I don't know what a Liquid Elements costs. I know what a Rupes ES costs is about $350. But I probably stay in that lane because Jamie, I think you'll agree, the force action and maybe some of the rotary tools are probably the next level of skill development away. 15 is probably the most adaptable and most quickly adapted to tool when it comes to a technician picking up a tool. So that's where I would go. And there's a bunch of, how we can go to Harbor Freight, we can go to a bunch of places and find those tools now. It didn't used to be that way. You couldn't find hardly that tool anywhere, but now you can. So that would be my advice.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Kron is in. Yes.
Nice. Gabriel, Queenie, quest the question? Just give me an answer the question.
Means, but it sounds cool. Quest the question. I mean, I guess that's like ask the question, but it's quest the question.
That's funny.
Rags and brushes. Mexicali, Mexico.
Awesome. From Mexicali, Mexico. Nice. I like the name Rags and Brushes. That's funny. Gabriel, will Reflect also work on stainless steel? Yes, absolutely. Love it.
I've seen it work in my own house. Yes.
Yep. Where can I get those sent? So I think he means the ones down here, right?
Yep.
Those, we have all the concentrates. So we sell them as concentrates. We don't sell them pre-diluted because they wouldn't be shelf stable for as long as they would need to be being sold already pre-diluted. So those scents are little arts and crafts that I did at SEMA. And so those are already pre-diluted, ready to use. What we did is we just took smaller labels and put them on bottles that we made off of Amazon. But obviously on the PNS website and a lot of our distributors have all of the scent concentrates that you make your own, 16-ounce bottle or pour it into littler ones or whatever. So those ones are pre-diluted. We don't sell them pre-diluted though. But we are figuring out how to come out with the little mini labels so that you can make your own and do your own arts and crafts.
And to answer the question of where can you get those, if you are in Mexico, Pulex is our distributor. They're out of Tijuana, and they carry all things PNS and have been a long-term partner of PNS. So I'm certain that she has all of our fragrances down there. So if that's where what your question is, we can answer it that way too.
Yeah. All right, Barry just joined. What glass product are you all talking about? Reflect. So
for those watching on TV, Jamie did not crack a beer and isn't drinking a beer, but Jamie loves his Sprite in the glass bottle. So much so that Jamie knows where you can buy Sprite in a glass bottle wherever you are in the U.S.
Chipotle.
Still funniest thing we did at Monterey. Jamie's like, can we stop at Chipotle? I'm like, dude, it's 10:15 in the morning. He's like, I got to get my Sprite. So, and then he comes out with a 12-pack of Sprite. I'm like, what in the world?
Yep.
All right.
Can you post a link to the wipes holder you showed Steve and I from Amazon for the interior wipes? Can we throw that on the Beadmaker Lounge?
Yes. And Scott, you're going to love this. I just got them in. Like they were literally sitting right next to me in the Amazon package. So I was ready. I saw this question coming. So I was totally ready. So check this out. And I just did some math. That's why I was using my phone. So this is a reusable, you know how like baby wipes come in those like, little Huggies pack or whatnot. So this is like a reusable, refillable wipe pack. And I think what's interesting here is that people want to buy the economy pack of baby wipes and then they want to refill this themselves because when you buy the small one, it's actually way more, cost per wipe, right? So people buy their own. So what I think is interesting about these is I found these on Amazon, because people have been, complaining. And I thought, well, I
Really
would like to
nasty.
have the wipes thing as well, right? So I found these, and here's what's crazy. So they unzip at the top, so you can pull your wipes out of the express wipe bucket, fold them up, and then put them in. And then it's got the little pop top, so it's all going to stay nice and sealed and dry. So, or wet, well, they'll stay wet, right? So I ordered these, and so they have them in like fun prints, but I just ordered the clear ones. So I actually ordered these for me personally. So I got 6 of them so that we could have one in each car, and I was just going to make them up for each of our cars because we use them all the time. But here's what is crazy is I did the math on this. And so Keith, you're going to have to figure this out for me. So for those that have said they wish they had a better customer leave behind. So I've been doing the clear Ziplocs and putting my sticker on it. That's been fine. But if you really want to be like next level, here's the deal. So I've been doing Ziploc bags, clear ones with my sticker with 10 wipes. But if you wanted to do something for your customer, you could do the 30 wipes in here. When I figured out the wipes come out to about 13 cents a piece. So if you did 30 wipes, that's like $3.60 or something that it costs you to, unless you're a distributor, that's retail price, I should say. And then you can fold them up. And then these, you get 2 for $6 on Amazon. So these are $3 a piece. So Keith, here's my question, and this is a good one. Everyone asks, they wish that we had the packages like this. When we come out with packages like this that come from the factory like this, are they going to be much less than $6 a pack? Probably not, right?
No, because mass packaging and
$4?
machinery and all that stuff gets
Yeah.
kind of wonky, spendy.
Right. Yeah.
So I would bet that probably those would retail at about $12 a pack, and I would bet a pack would have 50 in it. So
yeah,
that would be my guess.
So my point, So my point is that if we're wanting something that we can leave behind for our customer, these are one of those things that you just build into the price of your detail, right? If you want to leave behind a really nice package, you can go the cheaper route like I do, which probably cost me less than $1 to leave 10 in a little Ziploc. Or if you really, really, really good customer, you could absolutely, spend $5-6 on these and leave them behind for your customers. Like it's so nice, but especially for personal cars. So I will, on our Bead Maker Lounge, I will post the link that I use to get the clear ones. But like I said, you get 2 in a package for $6. They seem super nice, super cool. They've got the, the opening that you load from the top and then obviously get them from the side. So these are really nice. So
and my math was wrong. It's probably closer to probably $8.95 would probably be my guess for retail on that. So I mean, not horrible, but when you think about a little thing you do that's the extra touch that Jamie was talking about, that just little bit of extra, that's a pretty great little bit of extra. So
very much so. Yeah, agreed.
Yep. All right. Josh Peacher replying to Gabriel, yes, and Chrome as well. Yep, totally. The Reflect works on Chrome. Anna, what kind of towels do you all use when coating with stout? So I like to use either the pearl or I also like a gray 365, like the minor. And then for my second wipe, I always do a creature. I'm just a big fan of the creature for my second wipe. It's still got enough to remove the coating, but it's also fluffy enough that, you feel like it's kind of polishing the surface. So I'm always a 365 and then a creature or a pearl, like the Rip and Rag pearl and a creature. But creature's always my second wipe for sure.
And I would switch out her creature for an old school original towel from P&S, the Insanity towel. But that's just me because I'm an old guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I just love that towel because it's got so much body to it that when you use it, it doesn't roll up on you. So that's my thing.
Yeah.
Right, Adamos. Good morning. I think you mean good morning. Frozen Canada.
Good morning. Pretty solid right now.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, that's tough.
Minus anything sounds awful, but 40 is that sounds awful. Yes, Ron says burr.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're gonna start doing speed round. We've got about 7 minutes left.
All right, I think this is a great comment. Scott Gray's community came through at MT. I would agree.
For sure. Yes. Anna, I want to be hiding in the house, but working from home doesn't exist in my industry. Darn it. Scott, yes, community really came through. Yeah, and that's what I was kind of going through with the collab thing. It's just everybody's just part of one big community. So Kirby says, Sydney, thanks for helping have Angela Gillum talk about the marine detailing safety. Yes, that was a great, educational segment there, and safety is a big one. I love that she put safety before the money.
Yeah.
Anna, I am one of 4 people here in the office, and there's supposed to be 50. Oh my gosh, holy cow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Kron, this is a good one. We need a foam version of Defender. It would be nice to foam and rinse off. So Kron, here's the fun fact about that. It would have to be a totally different version. It would have to be a totally different product. Defender is not necessarily meant to be put on wet or rinsed off. So we would have to kind of start all over on that. So,
but you can foam bead maker, and I have foam cannon bead maker, and that is a foam on, and actually use a blower to blow off. You don't even have to rinse it. So
it
that's
does take a lot of product though.
Well, hey, I'm all about product.
Sure.
But definitely not Defender, but bead maker has been used for that. Kyle Clark does it on RVs, and I've used it as well. So it does happen.
Mm.
Yep. East to west.
Sorry, I'm checking on Delaney. I just realized her Jeep is out front. It's totally covered in snow and she has to leave. So I forgot about that. So sorry.
Great to see the Smiths this week.
Yes. Yes. I love getting to spend time with the Smiths. We got to have a little dinner with them on, what day was that? Tuesday night. Always so great to see them. They're such a positive group. I love it. Chris M, good morning. This is interesting. I have some old gallon of Brake Buster that has turned blue. Is it still safe to use? I've never heard of Brake Buster turning blue.
Yeah, I would say no on that. If it's been around that long and turned blue, I don't know chemically if it's bad, but look, if a product changes color dramatically, like I could see if it faded or got darker, but if it turned blue, the answer is no. Just get yourself a new gallon and run with it.
Yeah, we usually say most of the chemicals are shelf stable for about a year. If they go after a year, still try them out. But if they've changed color, I would throw it out, start over. Yep. Anna,
normally they would lose effectiveness more than anything, but when something turns blue like that, I'm concerned something else is going on. So
yeah, I wouldn't count on it for sure. Yes, it's hilly already, and people live in the mountains, hills. Lots more snow up there than down in the valley. Yep, that's kind of what's happening here too in Boise. I have a lot more. God, I can't believe it's just coming down. We have a lot more snow than in town. Steve Pearson says, everyone at MTE had shared a genuine passion for detailing. Every booth was incredibly enthusiastic and willing to go in depth about every product. See, that's what I love about MTE is at SEMA, you don't necessarily get that. SEMA's great in its own right, but I love MTE because we get to actually dive in with people way more than we do at SEMA. So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
I agree with that.
But here now, we'll catch up on the start later. Well, thanks for joining us. Okay, she found it. She found a snow brush. We're good. Adamo said the blue Brake Buster. That's a tongue twister. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not do blue Brake Buster.
Yeah. OCD detailing out of Des Moines. You can look at a budget as ROI. Maybe more expensive up front, but gives you better longevity and less cost to operate and replace. Also, your hands and vibration. Oh, such a great one.
That was on the polisher tool question.
So. Yeah. I used the cheap polisher when I started, and I have completely wrecked all of the nerves in my neck, hands, arms. It's horrible. So I definitely don't. I think that the $80 polisher is probably fine for the DIYer, but if you're going to be doing more than 3 cars with it, don't do it.
Yep.
You'll wreck yourself.
Exactly.
Yep. Well, did a warm rinseless wash with my Ryobi Easy Clean last week. I love spraying rinseless at pressure to clean the interior or the winter grime. Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, that's great. And using that temperature differential is going to get you a lot better cleaning. And look who checked in from the other side of the pond.
Ooh, Alan Medcraft. High five, team.
He was probably doing yoga in the Isle of the Plain. That's why he didn't chime in soon.
We already missed
Probably.
Scott Graves checked Marketplace for used polishers. Plenty of good stuff on there, and from people who either upgraded or got out of the hobby. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Claus Nielsen just tried the Terminator Carpet Bomber and Finisher on some really grimy seats with steam, and it turned out so good. But should I have used an extractor instead? when level of soiling was that bad instead of steam? Which way's the best? Jamie, what do you think? Really bad seats.
Yeah. So the Terminator is going to take it off. The carpet is just going to be amazing for the overall. And to be truthful, the steamer kind of breaks it free. And the steamer's twofold, right? If you have a diaper nap on there, it's going to draw it in it. But if you just use the steam, it pushes it down in it. So if you just open the doors and let the wind blow through, it's going to dry the foam right where it is. Because, sometimes we have bleed back. We can't help it because we don't know how much is in the foam of the seat. So, absolutely.
Yeah. And this is kind of what I do. So if they're super bad, I kind of do what we call the dry extract method. So I am using my extractor, but I'm not adding more moisture. So I'll do the whole Terminator carpet bomber. And then, I might spritz a little Absolute on top or something, but I don't soak anything. And then I use my dry extractor, and then I go back over the steamer. So I use the extractor just to try to get some of the dirt out before applying the steam. But so I absolutely have an extractor and I use it, but I don't use it like what we call the TikTok extractors, where they just soak the seat and then it
drown it.
Yeah.
No,
I don't do that.
My best advice would be grab your rotary or actually your DA tool with the brush on it and scrub the hell out of the carpet dry before you even do any chemical.
Oh,
break
all that.
You guys got to see Archie, but
vacuum the hell out of it.
Come here.
What a little wiggler.
Your cute little face.
So, and something else, you're going to have a lot of guys in the industry that's maybe older, and they're thinking, man, you should just use an extractor and this, and this. What they're not taking into account is, like, there's some people in the industry that's been in it for a long, long time, and things didn't change nowhere near as fast as they do now. Look, the foaming in the seats are different. The material the seats are made with are different. So extractors are not really necessary like they used to be of all the drowning, right? You don't need that because it's not made like that. It's almost a closed foam cell foam in the seats anymore. So man, you don't really have to drown things anymore.
Right. Nope. Yeah, no.
Hey, another friend of ours. I had to go all the way across country to see a guy who's practically a neighbor. So good to see Chris.
I know, right? So crazy. Yes, it was good to see Chris. Juice free. Have you ever cleaned the interior with Absolute and add a clay lube? Why can't I read? Clay lube dilution. Yeah, you absolutely can. I haven't, but there's no reason why not. I think that you could absolutely, I've heard people cleaning the entire interior. However, if you get into a situation that's really dirty, you're going to want to switch to Express because you need surfactants, and there's no surfactants in Absolute. But for quick wipe downs and stuff, Absolute is fantastic.
Yeah. You said what I was raising my hand to say. Oh, absolutely.
Surfactant.
Yep. And it's just when you break that product down, it's only going to wipe the top off. Like it's just going to make it pretty and shiny. It's not going to super deep clean it. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, we got an answer to the Aretha Franklin song. It was reflect instead of respect. Now it all makes sense.
Oh, got it.
Thank you, Ron, for clarifying.
Okay.
That was going to be a mystery for 2 weeks.
We'll put Josh Pierce on that because he's a songwriter. So we're going to put him on the reflect instead of respect. We got it. Okay, Anna, what could former coating wipe-off towels be demoted to? The garbage can.
The garbage can.
Some would say something.
Throw in the round file.
Mine go in the garbage can. It's not worth the risk. I'm always a big supporter of put it in your cost of doing business. And Jamie runs a production shop, so he very well might have a different answer than me. But for me, I calculate the cost of towels into my cost of doing business. And I just don't think that it's worth the risk, even wiping wheels with old coating towels, because what are you going to do after you wipe the wheels? How are you going to remember that was a coating? I throw them away. I'm a throw them away, not worth the risk type of person.
Adamant to throw them away as well. That's me.
Yeah. So Jamie, we got some situations going on.
Well, so we have both aspects, right? We have the high end customers, we have regular customers, and then we have wholesale. So it's really, we have 3 different bins to throw the towel in, but we have 3 different colors. So when it's a garbage detail, it's garbage towel. When it's a high end car, it's actually garbage towel too, because you're wiping off coating and it's not going to be good for anything. And I can't use a coating towel as a tire towel or a acetone or paint thinner towel in another one. So most of the time it's garbage except when it's in the middle of a regular customer. So, we figured that cost in for sure.
Yep. Okay, we have 2 minutes left. We have to like jam through these next couple questions.
All right. Well,
Juice Free says
does not have a solvent-based interior dressing because we do not recommend in any way, shape, form ever to use a solvent-based dressing on the interior of a car. So our answer is we don't, and we don't recommend that you find one that does. Get yourself a great water-based emulsified dressing and go that way.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go.
Cron, the Bead Cannon, yes.
We've done it. It's awesome. You should try it.
Adamo.
Get it out. Go for it.
I have a really hard time getting a coating to last in harsh winters. How would Stout hand up to the salt and sand that we constantly? I have that same issue, and it's handling it great. And I've received many comments from others, like in Wyoming, Montana, and they say it's doing fantastic. So I'm going to say better than anything else I've ever found.
Right, and sometimes it's that holding up is not that the coating is not holding up; it's that the coating.
Oh yeah, it has nothing to do with holding up. It has to do with clogging the surface.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gary Johnston, is Reflect okay to use on window film? Yes.
Yep.
Anna, don't forget to like and subscribe.
There we go. We got our one reminder today.
Juice Free. Does Carpet Bomber work good in a bucket of water with a scrub? Not necessarily on carpets. You could use that maybe for like floor mats or something like that. But if you put Carpet Bomber in a bucket of water, you're just diluting a product that was supposed to be specifically diluted to a certain number to get the effects. So maybe not the best choice to put in a bucket of water.
We also don't usually recommend that you put anything in a bucket of water, try to dip the sponge and then, or a brush and then scrub the carpet. So that's just probably a general practice thing. And again, that's a little bit of an old school. I get it. You got an ancient carpet or ancient thing maybe, but not in automotive cars today anymore. No.
Yeah, for sure.
Angela's saying hi to Chris Lee. Exactly.
Sorry, hang on one second.
So Ron makes a great point. For all the amount of liquid you introduce to the interior, you got to get it out. And Jamie, you're a perfect example of if you're doing 25 cars today, having 25 cars out in the parking lot with the windows and doors open to get the carpet dry doesn't work. So as I always say, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. If you don't put too much water in, you don't get too much water out.
You don't got to get a lot of water out. That's right. And that's where it's the joy of the process. You're figuring it out because everything's different anymore. And I'm meaning the interior of the car is different. Look at Chevrolet trucks. New Chevrolet trucks, you can almost spray water on the door panel and it'll almost take the clear off the door panel up closest to the door hinges. So it's so it's not a one size fits all anymore. It's a professional approach.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
Morning, Alex.
All right, Jamie the cleaner checking in. How'd you all survive? I got the MTE flu hard. I feel great, but I don't usually get sick at these. But it was nice to see you, Jamie. Thanks for stopping by the booth.
Yeah, I just had the flu before I showed up, so I just got it out of the way early. So there you go.
Yeah, I've been good, but I take some, I take all those herbal crazy remedies that everyone says they don't work, but here I am, just tired. Adamo's Garage says, take care, y'all, be safe, stay warm. Yes. So my daughter, that's why I had to put you on mute. So sorry about that. She is heading out. She had to leave, and so I needed to just say, go slow. And I need to get on the road now too. So, hey, Jamie, it was so great to have you in the house this week. We always love all of our days spent with you. So thanks for coming down kind of last minute notice. We appreciated that. And to everybody that we got to see at MTE, it was so amazing to see you all. Alex, great show. Have a wonderful day. Yes, for sure. I'm going to go battle the snow, but do we have anything exciting coming up that we can actually talk about yet, Keith, before the next?
Well, we have the paint protection film and the window film class at PNS the last week of February, and we're now in February, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, it might be sold out though, so you might need to double check. I feel like I heard the last day that both classes were sold out, which is super cool, by the way.
We will probably plan to do another one of those later in the year if they are sold out. So that's a win.
Yeah.
We have Spanish language classes coming to PNS for detail. That's cool. We got a lot going on, but bottom line, everybody be safe out there in the winter weather. We will see you in 2 weeks, and stick to the Bead Maker Lounge. And by the way, Hop in there and say congratulations to Josh. He did a hell of a job. We love you, Josh. Congratulations to Bob and Dave on the Hall of Fame. I think that's all we got.
For sure. Such a great week. All right, awesome, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You guys stay warm, and hopefully this weather doesn't smoke us all.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Great.